What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video. My apologies for getting out the daily rap recap so late in the day, but today is the 9th anniversary of the May 1st burst, and Doody had to stream and talk about it early on today. That's on my channel. We just finished it. We got 3 hours of content. It's amazing. We had a lot of fun reliving that day. Go check it out, and especially there's a special portion of that video which is extremely funny. Regarding the Switch 2 canceling pre-orders that Doody got some pertinent information that he shared on the stream. But anyway, let's talk about the daily wrap. The one big thing that of course happened yesterday was the wage quitting of Lego streams. That's right. Phil did not make enough money, and of course when he doesn't make enough money, he quits everything. So let's see what he had to say on the daily wrap.
The videos are live. You can check them out right now on the channel. Good progress. So tonight, you may have noticed what we were doing tonight in the setup. Tonight on the late stream, it was Build with Phil, the second half of the Lego Piranha Plant build. And as you can see, it was very fun. We actually got it all done tonight. This is the Piranha Plant. It is adjustable and maneuverable. You can move the head around to do different expressions. You can actually have the mouth be opened or closed, depending on how you want it to look. You can simulate original Super Mario Brothers and actually like open his mouth all the way so it looks like Mario's jumping over. You can bite him in the butt. Okay, it's a pretty cool one. I'll be honest, it's not as tight or secure as some other Legos that I've done. It feels a little on the looser side, but I think they kind of intended it to be that way so it's more maneuverable. I do like how it looks, and it fits perfectly into my background. And so that will be part of my background for the month of May. I don't know where it's going to be. If it's going to stay there, if it's going to go to this side, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to think about it, and I'll put it somewhere. It'll look good. Rest assured, no matter where it ends up, it's going to look good in May. Okay? Fair enough? Now, all that being said, I had a great time building Legos. Over the month of February into early March, we did this Lego succulent set, and that was 3 whole streams, all of which were supported and hit the goals. Then I built a Lego Minecraft set that was back here over the month of April during my birthday marathon, and that was one of the most well-supported things that I've ever done, okay? I told you guys, if people show up, engage, and support for Lego nights, for the Piranha Plant, and it was only 2 nights for the record, only 2 streams, we would lock in, and I would 100% commit to doing another Lego, okay? We didn't hit the goal tonight. We didn't even get halfway to the goal. And in fact, there was a bunch of troll tips from an idiot who was doing dollar tip, who's already charged me back for the dollar tips because he's an idiot. You know, he was only doing it to be a dick. He saw that we weren't getting the support. He's like, I'll just distract Phil with a bunch of dollar tips. And then he charged them all back. So in reality, we probably only did around $60 of support tonight, okay? Truth is, the audience that was here was pretty engaged. We had some good conversation. I really enjoyed talking with everyone and hanging out with everyone while I was also building the Piranha Plant. I think the Piranha Plant looks great. And what I was telling everyone was that if we hit the goal, what I was eyeballing was either like another video game related one, maybe another Mario one for the launch of the Switch, or a Mario Kart related one. They actually do have various Mario Kart related ones, like there's a Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But also, I was thinking there's a new one that they just announced. Now, it's expensive as hell. It's $170, but it's a giant Mario on a giant Mario Kart. It's 1,500 pieces, so it's 3 times as many pieces as this guy. So you can imagine how big it would be, like my whole backdrop, right? And I thought it would be perfect. I thought, this would be great because this will be a good setup for Mario Kart coming out in early June with the Switch 2. It didn't convince anyone, all right? And it's funny because people are like, well, why don't you keep doing Legos? Well, I probably will, but it's not going to be on stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably will continue to do some Legos, and maybe I'll do some Legos with my wife, right? You know, maybe I could do it that way. But when I try to consider what is it that I'm going to do on a stream, it has to satisfy 3 criteria. I just did 4. 3 criteria. Criteria number 1 is, will people actually just show up for it? Criteria number 2 is, despite the fact that people showed up, will they engage? Will they talk with me? Will they like the stream? Will they watch the videos after the fact? Will they like the videos? Will they leave comments? Because that's all important to successful content on the internet. And then the third factor, will they support it? Okay? I told everyone way ahead of time. I hope that no one's disappointed. I said, just show up, engage and support with the Lego content. I'm happy to continue doing it because some of the builds I want to do, notably this Mario Kart build, is going to be really pricey. I need it to be supported, and it didn't happen, okay? So it is what it is. Piranha Plant, for now, will be my final Lego build. Maybe someone will convince me otherwise. You know, there's always a chance. I always want to say to people, even though maybe I've come to a determination or whatever, there's always a chance. There's always a chance that things could change or turn around. My attitude could flip. Someone convinces me. Sometimes people actually support after the fact. I've seen that, right? Like, people can't be there for the stream, but they're upset because they really like it. So then days later, they support and say, hey, this was for that. Can you still do it? I don't know. I don't foresee that happening. I think that the Lego idea was an interesting idea because it broke up my normal content of gameplay. But much like what has happened with Smart Guys, the initial idea of seeing me do something different works, but when it becomes a more regular thing, it doesn't feel special anymore. Since this is the third Lego I've built this year, since I've now spent so many streams doing it, people aren't that excited for it anymore. Even though, arguably, I think this is the best Lego build I've done. I really like how the piranha plant looks. I just don't think anyone's like, wow, this is cool anymore, right? You already saw me do these multiple times. You know what it's going to be. And it's not really interesting, except for the hardcore Let's Chill with Phil style audience. Smart Guys was the same. People wanted to see me have a show where I interact with someone else while talking about pro wrestling. It worked for around 4 months, and then the interest waned. So it's kind of the same deal. If you haven't been paying attention to my podcast recently, someone had an interesting idea. Instead of me doing all these dedicated shows to new ideas, instead, I might start doing an
Yeah, nobody cares, Phil. Anyway, so yeah, we have the cope over here, the massive cope from Phil, where him explaining yet again why he's quitting one more idea that his viewers came up with. And again, Lego Streamed, I believe, was something that his viewers came up with as a way to kind of mock Rich from Review Tech, I think, or someone was doing it before Phil. And they brought it up, and Phil started doing it because, of course, the Dents promised that they would wail out on him. And the first 2 times he did it, he did get some support. He hit his goal, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this was bringing in record amount of cash. I believe he did 6 Lego streams. I think 4 might have hit the goal, and 2 didn't, and that was just enough for Phil to decide he was wage quitting this. Just so ridiculous, Phil. What to do? What to do? What, Phil? To play more video games so that you can wage quit those video games? You already wage quit Disco Elysium. You're gonna wage quit Blueprints. What's left? I mean, it's so bad that he's bringing back Call of Duty. Call of Duty, a game that's how old? And how long ago did he play? He's bringing back Call of Duty because he has nothing else to play. Next he's going to be bringing back Street Fighter and playing Street Fighter like crazy because he has nothing else. There are no new games really coming out, and even those new games don't pan for him. He's lucky if he makes the goal on the first stream and then it dies out. Again, Phil, I don't know how many times I have to say this about you wage quitting, but maybe, Phil, maybe the problem isn't the idea. Maybe it probably wasn't the game. Maybe it's you, bro. Maybe you're just so super boring that you make anything you do boring. For example, the Lego stream, Phil. How many months have the Dents been telling you play music, Phil, play background music, play free ad revenue, free music that YouTube provides where they don't claim it and you don't have to share your revenue. Something background, like the music I'm playing right here, Phil. You hear this song that I'm playing right here in the background? This music, this little soft tone kind of elevator style music, play something like that. It's free and you don't get copywritten. How many months have people been asking you, Phil, to provide that and you said no? Last night on your stream, before you even started, people said, where's the music? And then you came out with this nonsense bullshit that, oh, you're too busy to find music and connect it. And then you went on a litany of bullshit that you were doing after your stream ended, your first stream ended. You're just lazy, Phil. You're just lazy. On my stream today, when we were streaming the May 1st burst, I went into my studios, picked a song, played it, and literally took me 10 seconds to do it. I showed how easy it was. But of course, anything out of the ordinary for Phil takes him 2 years to do. He might start playing background music, in 10 years. Just give him 10 more years. He'll eventually catch up. But it's just his laziness. Anything that takes him out of his comfort zone, that requires him to do a modicum of extra work, he's not going to do. And if he's only getting about $130 to $150 per stream, he might as well just play games because he can guilt trip the Dents into submitting, into giving him cash. He can't. I mean, how many games where he's struggling where he's making $30, $40 and then he just goes non-fucking stop begging. He starts begging like a crackhead. He can't stop begging, right? He can't stop begging, and people just grow tired of him and just say, all right, well, it is what it is, and boom, there you go. There you go. Like, dude, and that doesn't always work, Phil. It doesn't. The begging doesn't always work, and what that does is it alienates certain people, because you hear it every day, Phil. There's several people that come on your stream like, dude, the begging's excessive. It's too much. It's getting annoying. Please stop begging. You're making me feel awkward. And he doesn't care. And all that does is just push away people from his streams. It does. Can you imagine someone coming on? They you know, let's say that Kick shows them on the main, they put it on the front page, and it's the first time they're checking out Darkside Phil, and they see him begging like a crackhead, him insulting people, just nonstop over and over again. They're gonna be like, okay, backspace, I'm getting the fuck out of here. What the fuck was that? And they're never gonna give you a chance, Phil. But you can't see that because all you see is just dollar signs, and you can't see past the long-term goal. You can't see yourself growing, building a base. Like Legos, okay, Phil, you didn't hit the goal every day, but if you could have kept at it, you could have changed it up, you could have altered it, you could have done something a little bit different. Maybe you could have done a night stream where everyone did the same Lego, I don't know, something different, but work at it, bro, and build an audience for it, and people would then support it. But no, Phil doesn't see that. Phil sees it as, well, it's a nice novelty at first, but people grow bored and they're going to stop supporting. So I might as well just, if that's the case, Phil, then why haven't people grown tired and bored of you gaming? Like, again, your logic doesn't make any sense here, Phil. If you're saying what you do just eventually gets boring and people move on and they want something else, then when you think that the same logic applies to you gaming, don't people get tired of watching you game and they're just going to go tired of supporting you and they're just going to move on? You don't say that about the gaming, but you will say it about individual games. Let's just be honest here. He's just lazy. He sees this as more work than necessary. And to him, it's like, look, I'm not going to do extra work unless I'm getting whaled out. He really thought he was going to get $250, $300 per stream. Like, he was hoping to hit double goals during these Lego streams. The same thing with DSP Politics. The same thing with Smart Guys. He was hoping for massive support on these. He wanted to treat those type of events like marathons. And he wanted people to whale out because he was doing something different than what he normally does. Just like DSP Reacts and Throwback. He thought people were going to whale out because he was doing something different. And what happens is the novelty wears off, the massive support or whatever doesn't happen, and he wage quits. He quits. Because again, it's easier for him to just play a game and beg for $150. And that's who Phil is. At his core, he's just a lazy ass bum, and that's who he is at his core. And he's never going to change that. There's no amount of prodding him. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if PewDiePie or anyone comes to him in a nice, respectful manner and just say, look, you got to change. You can't keep doing this. He never will. He squandered the Kino Casino arc opportunity because he was bullheaded and lazy and wanted to do everything his way and refused to change. And even when he did slightly change, he didn't put his fucking heart into it. He was almost like someone with a 1 foot in, 1 foot out mentality. And that just doesn't work. You either go full in or you don't. When you go half in, people see that you're when you go half into something, people can smell a phony, and they see that this person's not really into it or they're not committed, and they're not going to support, not long term anyway. So anyway, it is what it is, folks. Let's throw the Lego streams into the wood chipper. It's just one more thing that Phil has decided to wage quit among many things, and won't be the last thing for 2025. It should be interesting. The only thing he might not wage quit this year is probably Grand Theft Auto, if it comes out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the stream or the video. Peace out.